Hey everybody, welcome back to the best U.S. Mint news channel on YouTube. I'm Son of a Silver Stacker, Triple S, or just Stacker. Today's date is the 2nd of May. Nope, it is May. Yeah, it's May 2nd, 2025. In this video, we're going to be talking about U.S. Mint sales, right? Because, well, they're important to numismatists, flippers, investors to determine demand in mintages. But before any of that, if you're new here, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to reach a bazillion subs. It's really a big number. Not sure exactly how big it is, though, but it's got to be ginormous. I just know it. Also, we're always live, never edited, and always unscripted. I never know what I'm going to say. Now let's bounce over here to moneymetals.com. Yep, look at that. Bingo. Gold is up 21.25 to 32.72.50. Yep, look at that. Silver down 4 pennies to 32.60. Yeah, we've got 100 to 1 there. Platinum up 230 to 986.15. Palladium up 65 pennies to 975.30. And Dr. Copper up a penny to 464 per pound. Down over here, you're looking at an in-stock American Silver Eagle whose premium is $6.89 for quantity 1 through 39. They got you paying $39.49. I swear I've seen that 39 before. Mostly all year long, right? So really, no matter how these things are moving, I think the more things change, the more they stay the same. Let's keep on keeping on. Now, this is coinnews.net. This is an article by Mike Uncertated just, I think 2 days ago, April 30th. Title of this article is U.S. Mint Sales. New 2025 silver quarters set tops weekly rankings. But that's not the real story here, folks. The real story, the gold sales and the American Silver Eagle sales out of West Point, New York. Yeah, they had some really good numbers, way better than we were used to seeing just recently. So that's kind of amazing. Yeah, it's rocking and rolling over there. And plus, the American Women quarters, Juliet Gordon Low quarter, yeah, the clad ones, doing really well, actually. It's quite remarkable. It says last week, the United States began selling its 5-coin proof set of 2025 silver quarters honoring Ida B. Wells, Julia Gordon Low, Dr. Vera Rubin, Stacey Park Milburn, and Althea Gibson, the very last honorees of the American Women Quarter program. Released on April 22nd for $95. That's a whole lot of money. That's way too much money for 5 quarters. You don't even get an ounce of silver. Come on, snap out of it over there. The set posted 6-day opening sales of 27,768 units, representing almost 80% of the possible 34,980 units or sets, making it the Mint's best weekly seller. No doubt about it. But remember, there's always adjustments, and I'll show you some adjustments that have happened with the recent sales. And there it is. Those are the 5 quarters. I really dig that Dr. Vera Rubin. It is my favorite this year, and I gotta say, it would look amazing in a reverse proof. All right, for comparisons, last year's is still available. Yeah, because they made too many and they overpriced it. Now priced at $95, it debuted at $80. Even when it was $80, it was still too high, and registered 6-day opening sales of 33,792 units. Most recently, however, it saw a weekly gain of 42 units, bringing its total to 34,307. Wow, 42. Wow, that's amazing. That's so low, folks. That's why, and that's exactly why they capped the sales at, what do they say, 34,980? Because they're not selling anything over there anymore. They really aren't. Not those kinds of products, but they are selling gold. You won't even believe those sales. Now let's keep on keeping on. The 2023 set, which also launched at $80, opened with 5-day sales of 38,782 units. It remains available at $95 and most recently added 14 units. Yeah, that is paltry. I mean, the writing's on the wall, folks. I mean, if you were selling that many and you own this business, you would know that you had to do some serious soul searching and some drastic measures. And remember, what they say about desperate times call for desperate measures, and desperate people do stupid things. I think I just added that last part. Anyway, raising its total to 46,183. Looking further back, the 2022 set, that's the very first inaugural American Women Quarters, that's the year it started, set opened up with sales of 57,735 units, was not available for long, and ultimately settled at 57,769. Now, it did have its advantages. It had a lower starting price at $73, but even then that was kind of rich. It was a little dear. And the distinction of being the first to feature silver quarters honoring the American women. That's right. So it was the first of the set. And if you look at PCGS, or I imagine NGC, some of the population numbers, you'll see that that first year, 2022, there was lots of submissions for those particular coins. Lots and lots. But not so much anymore. The way it goes. All right, U.S. Mint's top weekly sellers. Here we go. And they have the top 10. And I thought what was interesting here, look at the 7, 8, 9, and 10. are the gold eagles, excluding that 4-coin proof set, right? Now, number 1, American Women Quarters proof set. We talked about that. That's a silver proof set, rather. Proof set for the 2025 year is 4,129. That's a good number, folks. Number 3 is the West Point Proof Silver Eagle, sold almost 2,000, 1796, right? Look at that, 1796 for a total of 202,113. That's remarkable. But what's even more remarkable is the jump in the congratulations set. And I think that is probably due to high school graduations, college graduations. I think today at UCF in Orlando, they're doing their graduation today. So I would imagine that has something to do with the jump in the sales for that congrats set. That's awesome. And if you know somebody graduating college or high school today or even middle school, give them a high five from me. Bam. Now, in its latest report, the U.S. Mint published sales data for 546 numismatic products. Of those, 98 of them outperformed their prior weekly sales totals, up from 71 in the previous report. See, look at that, 98. So things are hopping at the United States Mint. They're really picking up. The question is why? 2 products saw a week-over-week gain of more than 1,000 units compared to 1 in the earlier period. Meanwhile, 4 U.S. Mint products recorded sales declines, 1 fewer than previous week. Reductions included all 4 roll and bag options for the recently released Michigan Innovation Dollar. And I told you folks last episode that is probably what we're going to see happen. And that's, well, you saw it there. And that was on April 8, resulting in a drop of 201,000 to a new total of 818,725 coins sold. That's remarkable. Now look at this, folks. This is commemorative sales. Wow. Look at that. The Marines are taking care of their own. We almost have a 2% increase on that $5 gold coin. What? Yeah, that is incredible. And look at this, that 250th anniversary proof silver dollar, over 2%. That is incredible. That just does, if that doesn't give you chicken skin, I don't know what will. All right, Morgan and Peace silver dollars. If you go ahead and add up all of these, they outnumber all of the, excluding the 2025 West Point American Silver Eagle, they outnumber the sales for the American Silver Eagles. And that's the Morgan and Peace dollars. They're the same price as the Silver Eagles. However, they have less silver. Go scratch your head on that one. All right, clad proof sets. Look at that. They sold 4,129 for almost a 2% increase. That is solid. And remember, I think they're at 420,002 for the stated product limit. But look at this. American Women Quarter proof set, 1.5% increase there at 469. Not too bad, not too shabby. Now we find ourselves at the silver proof sets. And this one really isn't talking about the silver proof set. They only sold 100 last week. Not many. Really, here is the jump, and I think that's due to graduations. Congratulations. All right, U.S. Mint uncirculated sets. Not selling a whole lot of those P&D Jefferson nickels. We're almost at 180,000, and we'll see how that goes. Like I said, next week 180,000. Keep on keeping on. Here we go. Proof and reverse proof. Silver Eagles. Yep, like I said, if you add up these numbers, 57, 112, and 53. It doesn't even come close to what the proof and uncirculated Morgan and Peace dollars have sold. It is remarkable. And look at that, 1796, almost a 1% increase on the sales for those American Silver Eagles out of West Point, New York. That is remarkable. Let me keep on keeping on. Now look at that, folks. Just soak that in for 2 seconds. What in the wide world of sports is going on there? Well, gold had gone down in price, right? So the mint lowered their price for gold. And that's what we get. 42% increase in the half ounce, 30% increase on the quarter ounce, 13% on the 10th ounce. And look at that 4-coin set, 1.2%. That is remarkable, folks. So the gold eagles are flying off the shelves considerably more than they ever have at any period this year. That is just something else to behold. Unreal. I mean, but that's not all. Check this out. I mean, that's just incredible. That is a lot of gold flying off those shelves. All right, palladium and platinum eagles, 1.26%, 1.26%. Wow, identical. What is that all about? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? All right, American Innovation dollars from Michigan. Okay, so this one had an adjustment, right? However, if you look at the adjustment from the latest sales to the gain, loss, and the increase and all that good stuff, you'll see that the 25 coin roll set from Philadelphia stands at 71.28, and that is still higher than the Arkansas dollars. Not as high as the Missouri dollars, but still it is outselling the Arkansas dollars altogether. Look at 17.99 to 19.45, 28.27 to 28.32, 64.90 to 65.13, And then 71.28 to 70.71. That's something else. That really is remarkable for that Michigan Innovation Dollar. And don't forget, after that, and you probably should have gotten the notification yesterday for the new American Innovation Dollar that is going to drop shortly. So, yeah, after that, we have one more. I think that's going to be Texas. I think Florida, then Texas. And after that, we're looking at the proof set and the reverse proof set for the American Innovation Dollars for 2025. Can't wait for that. Lord have mercy. Some good stuff. All right, Native American dollars. Yep, look at that. I highlighted even then 0.96 because, well, it's close enough to 1% to make a difference. That is incredible. Good sales for the Native American dollar rolls. And then the Juliet Gold, back it up. Yep, nothing really going on for the Kennedy half dollars. But I got to thank M. Ash for this heads up this morning. I want to show you the subscriptions for the 2026 Kennedy half dollars because there are none. That's right. Check this out. Bingo. So here we find ourselves back at the Mint website. This is the Kennedy half dollar subscription. And as you can see, the next product in the subscription will be the Kennedy 2027 half dollar 200 coin bag, shipping in 2027. And there, look at this. Subscriptions will not be offered in 2026. Now, the question I have is this. Are you only talking about the Kennedy half dollars? Because that makes sense. There won't be any Kennedy half dollars in 2026. But there will be half dollars in 2026. And my question is, will there be subscriptions for those half dollars in 2026? Yes. And look at the same thing for the rolls as well. Yep. Nothing going on there except 2027. So thank you, M. Ash, for that. That definitely has created some wonder in my head about what's going on, among other things. All right, let's see here. This is 2025 Juliet Gordon Low Quarters, and I will be headed to Savannah soon to check out the Juliet Gordon Low house or home in Savannah. I was checking that out last night on YouTube, and I can't wait to go check it out. That's awesome. All right, look at this. These are remarkable sales. And I got to show you here. The 3-roll set is just at $99.39, had an increase of 75 for an increase of 0.76%. But really what's interesting about that is, well, they sold 75 to 40 on the Ida Wells, 13 and so on and so forth. So pretty good sales for the P and the D and the S rolls. However, what in the wide world of sports is going on with that 100 coin bag out of Denver and the 100 coin bag out of Philadelphia? And why are people buying these? Is it because there's a dye chip that looks like a cookie on her hat, like a Girl Scout cookie? Or maybe there's another heir that's been found that we don't know about just yet. That's remarkable. And it is remarkable to see the sales for these Juliet Gordon Low Quarters so, I guess, robust. That's remarkable. Let's keep on keeping on. I think that was going to be it. Yeah, I made it. Let's do the plus ones. I got some really good ones for you today. This is Proverb 17, number 12. Better for a man to be confronted by a bear bereft of its whelps. What? I had to look that up. Than by a fool in his foolishness. Now, what I think that means is raging fools can be more dangerous than a mama bear grieving her lost cubs. A steel blade may penetrate a bear's hide, but a conceited fool's heart is armored. Get that? Armored, like impenetrable against truth and sensible arguments. Sense and sensibility, right? Or is that a movie? Maybe it's a different movie. Either way, let's bounce over here to 99.9 KOIN Coin News Radio. And this is Kenny Loggins, and it's a white screen. And I don't think, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Kenny Loggins, this is, what song is this? I think it's called, This Is It. And it may have Michael McDonald in it. You know, the guy from the Doobie Brothers. I dig that song. So this is it. That's it right there. The end of the show. You made it. You should high five yourself. Thank you, denizens of the internet webs. Appreciate y'all being here. Look, it's been a fantastic ride. I'm digging it, and we're going to keep doing this. And I got to tell you, I took my nebulizer this morning. So if I'm a little funky, a little high energy, my voice might be a little deeper. I don't know. But I just did my nebulizer right before the show. So let me know if it's a little different because it's just coursing through my veins. Anyway, Stacker out.